The Jim and Terry Show, weighing through all kinds of current events. This time, Canada is our feature. First Ministers Conference is where we'll start. The Premier of Ontario. Shootsy scores? You mean elbows up, or is this a hockey metaphor? Okay. We'll talk about the First Ministers Conference, and I'm not sure what you listened to or followed as a result of that. I was keen to see, do we still have a Team Canada, or is Alberta still going their own way?
I think according to the United States, which does mention Alberta, according to the United States, we're pretty unified. And I think we can manage this through. One of the reasons I believe is because Carney. I think he's the man for the time. And yes, you're hearing that from a conservative. But I like his style. I like his intelligence. He came into this knowing that it was going to take a special kind of man to deal with what's going on. And he went into that fire. So if you think he's weak, don't. He is a strong man who is out to help Canada like he did before. He's out to help Canada like he did England, and he is, I think, is the man to for this time. He's a gentle, he's not brass like Ford, which I don't mind Ford, but others do. But he's not brass like Ford. He's gentle, polite Canadian, but he's also firm, and he's the one that told us it is over.
That was his first speech.
Yeah, it is over.
Now,
and I like that because we need to expand beyond.
We need
so
to
this
diversify.
never can happen again.
That's right, diversify.
Yeah,
we're not going to be dependent on the United States again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they betrayed us.
To go back, the 51st
the government betrayed us.
The first 51st state rhetoric began while Trudeau was still in office, and Trudeau. Some people will say he slunk down to Mar-a-Lago to see to what extent is that real or is that a joke. And that's when he talked about Governor Trudeau. So it became clear that it was real, and that became the message that was taken back to the Liberal conference when they chose leadership. They needed someone with enough diversity in their portfolio, not the literal investment portfolio, although he does have that. It's his global connections that will lead Canada to, if there is a glorious future, it will be because Carney's got connections all over the world.
And I agree with that. And I think he's made good connections, both because of ability to make money and run businesses. That's part of it. But the other part of it is he just seems to be a genuine leveled man. A leveled person. His wife looks that way too.
Humble person.
And humble as well, yeah. And I think he's ideal for our time. Mm-hmm. Maybe only for 4 years. I don't know. But he's ideal for our time at this moment, dealing with someone who is so polar opposite to him. That is the President of the United States.
We do need a visionary. So someone who can paint a picture of a Canada post-NAFTA, post-CUSMA, because Trump broke. So this thing that Trump is doing with tariffs, it is illegal. He broke those agreements unilaterally. It was a free trade agreement, and Trump wanted to.
Well, why would you
tariff
want to
us.
ever have another agreement with him?
Why would you?
Why would you?
Exactly.
So I hope Canada does not negotiate. And if we're asked that question, I hope Carney will say that. Well, we had an agreement. You broke it.
Yeah.
It's not an agreement, Mr. President, if you can break it anytime you want.
That's right.
And you get mad at anybody else if they do something you don't think is right.
That's right.
So I personally, if you want to have an agreement with the United States and you think that that's binding, you're a fool.
Yeah, and that includes all countries, not just Canada.
Yeah.
But for our focus here, this is the Premier's Conference was just concluded in, I'm going to say Haliburton. I'm not sure if I'm right. It's in the Muskoka somewhere where they had this thing. But it seemed to be a united conference, and even Ford spoke on behalf of Alberta and Saskatchewan. So these are three conservative provinces, the big three, talking about putting Canada first. It's not America first, but it is looking at trying to defend ourselves against an obvious economic attack.
Well, and you said earlier in this show or a different show, you said you think this is, we can owe Trump for this. Well, that's like saying I owe Satan for salvation, so no. But In a
Yeah.
way, it took something like this for Canada to say, what are we doing? We're brothers and sisters in this wonderful country. It's massive. It's gorgeous. It's wealthy as wealthy. Credit for the fact that we are now wanting to be unified. And, but I'm not going to give them the credit. That's like saying that, as I said, the devil, we thank the devil for salvation. No. But Canada now has seen your most trusted friend can turn on you. So you best have more than one friend. And so we economically need more friends.
Right. So more friends in economic terms.
Which means you don't use them.
It's to diversify
Yeah.
our economy. Our dependence is on the United States. We are the United States' largest trading partner. I forget how many countries. Ford listed off a whole bunch of countries, and Canada's relationship in terms of dollar value is better or more than, greater than, and I think
All
he
of them
listed
combined.
All of them combined.
And then, but you see, when you're dealing with other countries and free trade and stuff, you can view it like a Carney, which I think is best, or you can view it like a Trump saying, we're great, we're fabulous, you want all that we've got, and so we're just going to take more. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. You had the richest country in the world, the best country in the world according to the world's opinion. And it wasn't enough. You had to starve poor people. You had to ruin your medical system. You had to destroy things that would save people in order to make that little teeny number of other people 1% richer.
Right.
So make America great again. Well, everything he touches dies.
So we don't trust Trump, but we are going to diversify. And within Carney's first few months as prime minister, I believe the number was over 80 bilateral trade agreements Carney and the government have negotiated since taking over as Prime Minister of Canada. And that's a stunning figure considering Trump said 90 deals in 90 days.
That is funny.
And he hasn't got any.
Yeah.
I don't think, and not one of the ones that he claims he got are real deals.
Well, because what you want is fair trade. You don't want nasty trade. You don't want one of the members at that thinking, I'm stronger than you. So I'm sorry, I buy the coffee for $2, but your coffee is going to cost you $3.50. So when Carney's dealing with other countries, you can sense that he's going to deal with them honestly, where both countries benefit. It has to be both countries benefit.
That's what trade is supposed to be.
And what happened when Trump came along is he said, you've been using us and abusing us. And okay, let's look at that. Okay, now, Mr. Trump, now all the travel that went down to your country is stopping. Were you using us? It sounds like you were using us. I think you were. And now Vegas is sitting in ruins. And it may be the fault of that empire because you thought we were using you? No, I think you were using us. I think you were using us, and that's the view that you guys are going to have to start down there looking at. We don't have to go to the United States.
No, we don't.
And we don't have to buy American.
We don't.
We can suffer a bit. Canadians have done it. This is the far north. This is the north, strong and free.
I think you've got a point with Canadians will suffer a bit. There will be some kind of pressure, and I'm looking at the prices of things. Things may get a little tight, and I will have to tighten my belt. But is it worth it for the long-term outcome, which is less dependence on the United States, less reliance on an unreliable trading partner? And we haven't even talked about the military side of whether that's a reliable partner as well. But let's just say it's good for Canada to diversify, and it's about time, and maybe Trump did us a favor.
Yes, and I'll tell you what. You know what would make America great again, Terry? If all the nations of the world said, we're not negotiating, put tariffs on whatever you want, put them as much as you want, because what it's going to do is it'll bring down the country to its knees. The people won't be able to afford. They don't make enough money to pay that what it'll cost to buy goods. And then, see, America was great. Trump ruined it. Now to make it great again is to bring them to the point where they're going to say, we need participation in the world. We need them to buy our goods. And if they just choose not to, who's going to buy it?
The premise of Trump's tariffs is that United States is the world's largest market. It is.
Yeah.
But he wants to charge us for entrance into that market instead of saying, It's because we all traded with you in the first place that you are the biggest market. We created that market.
Yeah.
All of us together, working with the United States, created the market that Trump says, well, I want to charge you now. I want to charge you admission into the American marketplace.
And I say F you.
And I think Jon Stewart says that, and so did Jimmy Kimmel and everybody else.
Jon Stewart said that concerning the organization that he works for. He said, we made you the $8 billion value you are now.
The comedians, the talk show hosts, the ones that are now being skewered because Trump doesn't like them.
Yeah, so we made you, America.
Stay tuned for more on The Jim and Terry Show. Bye-bye for now.
I don't want to carry this load no more. I don't want to carry this load. Though the sweat of my brow and the toil of my hands has got me so far into this promised land.